So this is kind of the upper part of the creek before it goes down to the falls. And when I was a child, my grandfather had two big chicken houses right here. His pasture actually came down to the chicken houses, and he had water, a pipe running from the creek through the chicken houses to give the chickens water. It came in one end, and then the used water ran out the other end of the chicken houses. Very smart.
Very efficient.
But he built those chicken houses on a flat clearing where his father, Marion Padgett, and his two wives had lived in a primitive cabin. The land was cleared and relatively flat and near the creek.
And so he lived there with Susan and raised their 10 kids, and then after Susan died, he married Melinda, and he
they
lived in the
there.
same house and had the two other children.
And I didn't never hear, but I'm assuming that Grandpa, Uncle Aunt Rhoda, and Aunt Phoebe moved back to the house after Melinda
took her kids back to Dawsonville.
I think that they moved back into the house, and then I'll show you where my grandfather built a house later on. The road is the road that they used. It was a wagon trail, and when Grandpa built the chicken houses down here, he had to widen it somewhat because the big trucks that came to pick up the chickens when they were ready for market, and also the feed trucks, they used this road and came. That's the reason I know we're in the right location.
So whenever Marion Padgett used it for his...
It was just like a wagon trail.
It was a wagon trail. And then
and you know, I don't know, I say it was a wagon trail, but actually Grandpa had most of this land here in some kind of crop. He had a cantaloupe patch right up here on the side of the hill that I love to stop by, get one of the ripe cantaloupes and bust it open and just eat the whole heart and everything out of the cantaloupe, you know, and watermelon. He had some watermelons there too, actually, and as I was playing during the day. But I don't think, probably when Marion Padgett built this cabin, they probably cleared most of these trees for farmland.
Yes, because they were farmers and they had to use every inch of land to grow.
They cut those trees down with a crosscut saw. And I know when I was a child, Grandpa cut them down, and he had a horse and an old sled behind it. He would cut down several trees and pull them on that, get them on that sled, and have the team of horses pull them up to the top of the hill. And he would take them to the sawmill and have them sawed into planks. And he would either sell the lumber, or if he needed it, he would build a building out of it.
That was neat. This is the road that led down past the falls to William Marion Padgett's old primitive cabin, where he lived with his first wife and 10 children, and also his second wife.
At the top of the falls.
At the top of the falls. Right on the creek that fed into the falls.